So welcome to Small Town Minds podcast, and I can't do the shtick as good as you, Mike. You put me on the spot and said to open, so I'm going to open. How's everybody been the past couple weeks?
Just peachy, just peachy. You know, just doing the old grind, doing the old stuff. I listened to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness last night in its completion again. It's been a while. Been a little while since I listened to that thing. What a masterpiece it is. I love it. Just fantastic stuff. And here's the thing I have to say about the grunge era in the 90s. They always talk about the big four. And they always talk about that. And they say, oh, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. I don't know. I don't know how you can't. I don't think you can exclude this Smashing Pumpkins. Thoughts?
I would 1000% agree. To steal a line from Walk Hard, great record. Yeah. No. It's the title track that is the instrumental piano piece, right? There's an instrumental piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one of the most beautiful pieces of music. I've tinkered around with it. It's pretty tricky. Yeah. I think one reason they get forgotten about probably is Billy Corgan. He's a bit of a divisive. Some people like him, some people don't. So I don't
He
know.
had a little bit of
I agree
arrogant
with you though.
spirit there for a while. I mean, yeah. I mean, we talked about him saying the CIA did shit. I mean, he kind of has theories and stuff. He's kind of wild,
Yep.
but I don't think you can negate his talent there. I mean, that whole album is just such a masterpiece. It's so varied. There's so many things. If you don't like one song, wait till the next one. It's going to be totally different. Like there's so many different sort of genres blended in there. It's just I don't know. I just love it. I mean, now again, I said the people talk about the big four. For me, honestly, it probably might be Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins, and then go to the other guys. Like that might be mine. I think they're great. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Smashing Pumpkins. Siamese Dream was a overplayed tape at that point in time for me because I had that one, and then Joey actually introduced us to Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. I think it was the day after it came out. We sat at your house and listened to it for hours, probably 2 or 3 times in a row, back to back.
Sure.
Just lots of great memories. But like you said, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, it touches all realms. You go from pop to metal to classical. I think the only thing you may not have on there is a hip hop.
Right. What you got Common and some funny songs on there too. I mean, it's just so layered. There's so many different things there. But Braden, I think maybe another touch point maybe might be that they they didn't burn out. They sort of faded away. Like they did a bunch more records, and eventually, like they didn't get to be as good. But if you look at that, like Matt was saying, Siamese Dream and Melancholy, man, those are masterpieces that you can hold up to anything. But I mean, later on, there's some of their works, maybe not as much, but those hit the right spot at the time. So, really, really love that stuff.
Fun fact. So you brought up Siamese Dream. Today, that was off that album. Tuck actually learned that and played it as we walked out after my wife and I got married. So
nice.
It was
Yeah.
I
love it.
I'm also a big fan. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So listen, we had a situation where we recorded, Braden, you and I, and Cliff recorded an episode, and it somehow got lost in the sphere of whatever, void of
The
nothingness.
lost episode.
Right. And so Cliff and I had to go back and redo it. Is there anything on that episode that you want to touch upon that you didn't get to talk about? I mean, you talked about a lot. You talked about a lot of good stuff. We really didn't, get your input, obviously, when we redid it. So anything on that before we continue with today's new topics that you want to talk about?
I think the big thing was Zeitgeist, that film.
Mm-hmm.
As we record, tomorrow is Easter, and the big thing I took away from that was the religion aspect and how the same story is in various mythologies and religions, and with the astrology aspect, the sun aspect, the seasonal as it gets warmer, and when certain people planted their crops and things of that nature, it made the overall it made Easter make a lot more sense to me. Because I still can't figure out how we had a zombie Jesus and that somehow turned into the Easter Bunny. That's never made sense to me. So,
but it does with this,
but no, that would be the only thing. I'm sure we'll touch on a lot of other topics inadvertently with what we got today. We got a lot to talk about.
Right. Speaking of that, I forgot to kind of talk about these. Give a little bit of shout out to these things that were in that movie, which was was Network. Network. It's a great movie. If you get a chance to check this one out, it's really good. And they do a little bit of snippets from the old George Carlin. And George Carlin, can't say enough. Great fucking comedian. Really love his stuff. So if you get a chance to check that out. Matt, did you watch that movie? Is it, guys?
I have not watched that movie.
Okay. All right. So give it a watch, and we'll talk about it later, maybe. We'll move on. All right. So, let's go to the topics. Netflix raising prices for the second time in 4 months. Yay?
It's always good to spend more money. Probably because
always.
Oil, I would assume,
Oil. We gotta oil that machine. So listen. So here's the thing. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming with the purchase of WB, but that didn't happen. It didn't fucking happen. So they didn't get the WB. And Braden, correct me if I'm wrong. They got what they get, like $2 billion in
something like that.
In some sort of walking away money. So they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and raise those prices anyway. We didn't get that contact that we were going to get, but let's go ahead and raise them. Like, at what point do people just go, you know what? Not worth it.
It is, well, the only thing I can think of, so I think they had some MLB games. They're trying to make a bid for extra NFL games. They're really, really getting into the live event venue.
Sure.
So sports is a big thing. It's appointment viewing, as we've talked about before. So if they do that, I mean, not trying to rationalize it, but for lack of a better way of putting it, from a business standpoint, I guess I get it, but it is a terrible fucking look.
But are they the only ones that have these sports? Because, I mean, there's a lot of sports. No. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're a sports fan, you probably already subscribe to something, right? More than likely. Let's just face it. So you don't really need that extra money piled on into something that you're already getting for something else. Yeah. Matt, anything on that?
Yeah, I didn't know they were raising them, but everybody's raising everything. So, you're going to pay a little more for damn near everything you do at this point in time.
Well, it's true, but this is the second time in 4 months. That's rough,
I've got a ton of jokes, but nothing helpful here, so I'll let you go ahead and move on.
All right. A teen, Hiller, creates a filter to remove 95% of microplastics.
That
What do you
would be
think?
amazing.
That would be. I'm hoping, much like the fungus, I believe it was in the rainforest that could eat plastic. I'm hoping that this gains traction as well. Yeah, amongst all the bad news out there, it's good to see little droplets of hope.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if that's something that actually comes to fruition, and then if we can get people to actually start moving to the fungus based packaging equipment and the things like that are biodegradable. I saw something else that was stating that they had made plastics out of I think it was vegetables, um, but it is also biodegradable. It's shelf worthy for so many months, and then if for some reason it gets left outside, it will biodegrade. So I mean, we might potentially start finding solutions to the fact that we've poisoned the planet and ourselves with plastic.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a good thing, especially since we've come to light that we have all these things in our systems and bloodstreams, and even before you're born and shit. So, not a bad thing at all. So hopefully that gets able to be, distributed to the world. So,
Yeah, and there's people talking about microplastics. Man, I can't even talk at the moment. That you wouldn't expect to. I actually had two guys here installing a exterior door and a storm door for me today, and we got into a conversation about microplastics, and they brought it up.
really? Wow.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that it all came into play.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a topic that people are talking about now because it's just
Yeah.
so sort of widely known. It's been published that it's happening. So,
Yep.
man accidentally hacks 7,000 vacuum robots feeds and sees everything that happens. Oof.
Yeah. What's your security like if that accidentally happens? Like if you're not even trying to do it and it occurs?
Yeah.
It's which I think. Did we speak about that sometime in one of the very early episodes about the ability of the Zumbas to be able to basically see everything?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we definitely talked about it humping things. I think that's all mine does. They get stuck on a fucking you just go boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
It's horny robots.
So these people, I mean, lo and behold, I mean, do people even know that there's a video? I mean, obviously there's a video feed on the more advanced ones, so they know that it's on there, but they don't know that it's capable of being hacked.
Yep.
So he's he must have had a field day with 7,000 videos. Whoa, which one do I watch today? That's kind of crazy. So be careful.
Ooh, I like ankles. I like ankles. Sorry.
If you have an ankle fetish, this is for you.
Yeah.
What do you say?
All Roomba all the time.
I like cankles myself, so
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of those as well. Content for days, I'm sure. All right, up next. 1 million satellites to transform night into day by Reflect Orbital.
I saw the headline, but I didn't read anything about this. So if you guys know anything, I would love to hear more.
Well, I mean, apparently it's not. I mean, obviously it's not like literally flipping the switch and the whole hemisphere is going light, but it is more of, I'm assuming, like a very condensed area to turn it to a brightness. And what they were saying is like basically like, like say a film set and stuff where like they need all these huge wattages of light to make it look the way it needs to be. Is like they could use these satellites to sort of make that happen.
This
I
is
don't
the
know.
most this is the most Mr. Burns shit ever.
Yeah. It reminds me of like, wasn't there a movie where like the McDonald's symbol was in the sky and like other um, advertisements, or maybe that was a fever dream where I saw that. But that's kind of what it reminds me of here. If they can just make the night sky light up what they want, the opportunities are endless from that point in time.
Maybe even make you think there's aliens coming in.
Ooh,
That would kind of fit
could
along with
be.
some conspiracy theories. I
We don't talk about conspiracy theories on this show. We don't do it. We don't do it.
don't
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a crazy one. I mean, I don't think it's going to be for consumer use up front, but again, it
Yeah,
might be
unless
for
they
some
can figure out a
companies.
way to make money off of it, and then suddenly
Well,
the
sure.
NFL's lighting at stadiums at night with
Well, now, like I said, not
terrific
consumer use, not
shooting.
like the everyday man, but like probably something that needs like that. That might be a thing. I mean, maybe
And then
so.
that's and then somebody who has enough money just constantly has a spotlight on themselves.
Woo, well, let me walk around. Follow me.
Yeah,
Satellite as I walk around.
yeah. Stand in my light or bask in my light, I guess would be the.
oh,
They probably have to
Jesus.
have like trillions of dollars or something for that kind of life, but I hear people have that kind of money.
Hey, absolutely. We have some people out there who can do it. All right. Up next, cornhole player and quadruple amputee Dayton Webber arrested for murder. This is a wild one. Did you see this one, Matt?
Once again, saw a headline, didn't actually read about it. It what's the old saying that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction?
Yep,
And
absolutely.
I read the headline. I was like, I've already got enough weird crap going on. I don't need to. It's fun. It's easier or it's more fun to speculate which limb he still has if
When we talk about
he kills
amnesia,
somebody.
okay? So
Uh,
I just think, well, quadruple amputee shooting and killing somebody. But apparently he was making videos before that of how he can cock and load and shoot a gun. So
Yeah,
Braden, you think?
I, oh, I'm going to hell. Oh, fuck.
don't look into the lights. It's just the reflection off the satellites, Braden.
Oh, God. So many questions. How does he play cornhole? I mean, I don't know. Um,
There was a
I mean,
joke
if you can
about
shoot
this.
a
Do you guys
gun, you
remember
can
it?
play cornhole.
and like, I want to see these videos now. I'm curious because there, there was nothing to lock and or load a gun with. Like, I want to see him do it because I was genuinely
Look it up.
curious.
Look it up. You can, yeah, it's on
Ah,
there. You can
Well,
find it.
okay.
I don't know. It's uh, I mean, where there's a will, there's a way, I guess, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, uh, uh, you know, I mean, I saw the movie Freaks back in the day, so I guess anything's possible. I don't know. All right, so Connecticut officer fired after killing a man in a mental health crisis. So apparently there was this guy having a mental health crisis, like basically, what was he? He had a knife to himself or something like that, and so they called the cops. There was cops there trying to de-escalate him, and then some other cop shows up and says, "Hey, drop that knife, or I'm going to shoot you." Killed him.
Yeah,
Is this
I didn't hear about that one.
is this training? Is this the good training?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's curious that it's that much of a hair trigger, seemingly.
If a guy has a knife to himself and you say, "Drop that knife, or I'm going to shoot you," at what point can you say the officer was in fear of his life? If he's pointed at himself.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time this has happened, obviously, and I think it happened even recently before that in Connecticut as well. But I mean, obviously he was fired and stuff. But it's kind of wild. It's like your job is what's those words again? Protect and serve. Protect and serve, not kill a motherfucker. Protect and serve.
Not aim and shoot.
Yeah. People get confused. But it's like you have a guy who's obviously having trouble and stuff. I mean, this guy could have just been having a fucking bad week. You don't know. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
And fuck. I mean, it could have totally ended differently. But these cops, man, they just, whoa, if you got a weapon, I'm gonna fucking shoot you. I mean, it's crazy, you know. I mean, if he was running toward him or something, that's a different story, right? Right?
Yeah.
But if you have literally cops there trying to de-escalate the situation, and that's the thing too, is people are already there. Why do you need more people showing up? You know what I mean? And especially showing up and taking charge. Like, I don't, you guys are already here, but let me go ahead and take care of this situation. We got to go back to lunch. So it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Tennessee. Tennessee. We always talk about Tennessee because it's fun.
Because it's the only 10 I see.
That's the only 10 I see. We love to talk about Tennessee bills because they are the best bills ever made. Yes. I'm a bill on Capitol Hill. That's Tennessee. Tennessee bill to track transgender residents passes in the House. Braden?
The crazy part is this isn't the only transgender bill that's passed across the nation. I think Iowa passed a similar bill. Ohio passed one. There's one other state I'm forgetting. It is really concerning that they're targeting this group of people so much. What's it hurting? What I mean, think of the children. Okay, you're so concerned about the baby in the womb, got to protect that child. But then when they get here, you give fuck all about childcare, and just the cost of that alone, or any programs to help them. So yeah, think of the fucking children.
As George Carlin said, if you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're preschooled, you're fucked.
Yep, indeed, and that's what pisses me off. Like, I'd rather have a drag queen reading to my kids as opposed to fucking learning about the Saint Charlie Kirk or fucking teaching Bible verses. I'll hush. I'm getting on a rant.
Matt?
I had something until the Charlie Kirk thing came up. but it it does feel like the things that we are moving toward seem like they're trying to erase everything. I want to say I also heard that the Supreme Court held up the conversion camps and things of that nature. You know, it's like some of the stuff it's hard to understand. Like, we've seen so many movies about these conversion camps also, you know, and not saying that transgender and gay, lesbian are exactly the same, but I mean, people are who they are, you know. I don't think you can't convert that out of them. And laws aren't going to change that. If I'm not mistaken, all this stuff's been going on for hundreds, thousands of years, and it just baffles me that we still can't be people. You know, now if they're a transgender who does bad things to kids, then yes, like, that's a bad thing. But it's not because they're transgender; it's because they're a pedophile. Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're trying to make, well, let me kind of reframe my whole thought here. In the larger picture, it's all just making everybody mad at each other, so we don't look at the people who are actually doing all the bad stuff to us all the time.
Well said.
You gotta have a scapegoat. You gotta have a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Transgenders might as well be them. Yeah. Yeah. Very stupid. No reason to track these people. I don't see any reason for that whatsoever.
If they're committing crimes,
if they're committing crime, well, that's whatever. But
yeah.
you know, again, like, these people are just living their lives. They shouldn't be on a list, kind of a deal. Very, very silly stuff. Again, what is it supposed to be? Are they going to be harassed? Are they going to, are they going to be targeted in certain ways? I mean, why are they on this list? That's Tennessee for you. Speaking of Tennessee, here we go. Tennessee BILL Charlie Kirk Act passes the Senate, requires colleges to adopt certain free speech. Now, I like free speech. I'm a big fan of free speech. I don't like where it says certain free speech. You see what I'm saying? You see what that is?
Yeah.
What's that mean? Now, Charlie Kirk Act, it's what is whatever, but it states about free speech, but they say certain free speech. So to me, that's very targeted. Doesn't seem like that's free speech at all. Because free speech is either you have it, or you don't. You know, it's not like, so certain free speech doesn't. So what it sounds to me like is all that is saying is that they're requiring colleges to have right-leaning speakers that they normally maybe would not accept. That's all that sounds like to me. Braden, am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think that there's too many other ways to read that.
I don't read,
Matt?
so I don't have anything.
Is there a picture? Is there a pretty picture?
Is there a headline? Is there a headline somewhere?
No, again,
do they have it on iTunes?
again, I'm all about free speech. I'm all about free speech, and I have no problem with these people coming. But if you're saying, if this is just to allow them and it doesn't suppress somebody else, okay, whatever. But if it's suppressing other people, then yeah, it's not really free. So, they can always pretty something up to make it look like it's, oh yeah, this is going to be great, but then it's shitting on somebody else. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Up next, Tennessee, Arizona, and Minnesota bills label COVID mRNA vaccines as biological weapons. Holy shit! Look out, Braden.
I feel like, they talk about the woke mind virus. Like, this is some of that fucking weird ass QAnon virus left over from COVID.
Mhm.
I don't even know anymore. Like, what are we doing? Do we have nothing better to do?
I'm literally mutating as we speak.
I think the majority of the planet then is mutated if that's the case.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I think there have been a lot of health complications, and if mRNA is still very new, for the fact that
Sure.
3/4 of the entire planet had it injected into them, we're all going to learn if it was good or bad in the long run. I don't know that we're quite where we can consider it how was it, a bioweapon?
Yeah, a bioweapon,
Yeah.
biological weapon. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, yeah, obviously something new is going to be untested, and you don't have years and years of data to back it up. I mean, there is always chance and stuff. There are people that are allergic to stuff, that react differently to stuff. I mean, that has totally been the case with the COVID vaccines. I have family members that reacted weird to it. So it is that, but as far as to say, to say, oh, this was the thing that killed everybody. I mean, come on. Literally, the thing that was killing people was COVID. So, I mean, was there casualties? I'm sure. And again, it's kind of a thing where when you take a vaccine, you take anything, like there is always that chance. You can't say 100%. You can't guarantee it. So, there can always be that possibility, and you take a risk if you do it. But there was a greater risk of having that COVID, having COVID and having to deal with the consequences of it at the time. Now, obviously a lot of people didn't do it, and that's fine. But to say it's a biological weapon is kind of that's a stretch, a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it does seem like a stretch.
All right. Tennessee State Police tested AI tech, but then the Tennessee State Attorney General says that it illegally violates privacy. So apparently they're trying to do something new that pretty much hones in on a lot of your freedoms. And even the Attorney General says, whoa, wait a minute. But does that mean anything? Does that mean it's going to stop? Not necessarily, right?
No.
No, but at least them pushing back, we heard about it,
Mm-hmm.
It's very possible that it would have been, if there wasn't pushback, it may have just been pushed through and we had never known anything about it. Did it give any information about what type of information that they're looking at, or just the fact that it was bad?
Right. Yeah. All right. Braden, anything else? All right. More Tennessee. Tennessee launches the only registry in the U.S. to look up domestic abusers for free.
I think that's a good thing.
That's
Yep.
not bad. That's not bad. Might seem a little exhaustive because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. Sure. So if you're out on a date and you Google the guy real quick and look him up, and be like, oh shit, I gotta leave. You know, but no, that's not bad. That's not. I mean, we have to take the good with the bad, and we talk a lot of bad because Tennessee does a lot of dumb shit. But occasionally they go. Oh. All right, up next, Tennessee library director fired for refusing to locate the LGBTQ children's books into the adult section. Matt?
I Okay. I maybe didn't know anything about this, so I guess she wouldn't move
Okay,
them.
so she was asked to relocate their children's books, but they are LGBTQ based. They're so she was asked to relocate them to the adult section, and she said no, and she
Oh,
got
okay.
fired.
Yeah, that seems. I'm glad she stood up for what she believed in for that one. Seems like an odd ask. If they're children's books, I mean, unless they're.
Graphic.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to think of. That word.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having to move them. It kind of goes into the fact again that a lot of like the children's books that we have out there that are renowned are from people that we have found out weren't good people too. So,
Yeah.
like, what's the transgender part really got to do with that? That's oh man, what a society,
Right?
or lack thereof at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, to Matt's point, I mean, I don't get why you would. Um, yeah, like he said, very, very strange ass.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, we know the reason. That's to
Oh yeah,
keep
yeah.
the kids away from all this degeneracy kind of a deal. But yeah, I mean, I could see her getting some money in the future. I think I can see that
Yep.
happening. So,
I mean,
um,
if it's something that if it's something that they're planning to bury, they're going to have to get rid of the internet. Because
yeah, let's just shut that shit down.
yeah, I mean, like, go ahead
That's
and
what I think.
turn it off now. That's all.
Absolutely.
Uh, yeah, I think the cat's out of the bag on everything.
Oh, damn. I didn't know. All right. Up next, we're still in Tennessee. Uh, police use AI facial recognition and arrest a Tennessee woman for crimes that occurred in a state that she never even visited. Right?
This is promising for the future of AI and law enforcement.
Fucking
Good
very
Lord.
promising.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think we've talked about this before about many people stating that utilizing AI, you have to check it because it will sometimes just put random information in what you're doing. If you trust it 100%, you're probably going to have some issues that you're not understanding.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine, especially like with us, with our name so common, getting a knock on the door any day now saying, yeah, AI said that you did this.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this was a woman, grandmother. I mean, maybe not super old, but she never even been to the States. She had to fly. She said, I never even flown an airplane before. I was so nervous. Had to fly to the state, apparently. Like, it's so crazy.
Just to
Like,
prove who she was and the fact that she didn't
I,
actually.
and I don't, I'm assuming the way it worked out is that they finally figured it out, but because they finally was able to prove that she was in Tennessee at the time. Like, why would you rely on this?
You,
Seriously.
I've already decided I got to start taking those gas station receipts. I usually just say like, no, don't print me a receipt. But yeah, I need to actually start keeping up with those too. The only
I
bad
think
part is
so.
they have microplastics in it. So do I either want to be able to prove I was in
Damn! I'm
was
damned
that
if I do. I'm damned if I don't.
yeah, do I want those microplastics in my system? What's you know
Shit.
definitely
Brady,
a crazy
anything else, Brady?
situation. I'm glad she was able to prove that it wasn't her and
Yeah, I mean,
what
let's think about it like this. Let's say she wasn't able to. Well,
yeah.
fuck. She's in fucking prison.
Yeah, or Guatemala or wherever they're sending people mail. Uh, sorry, that was maybe a little too far.
Well, she was white, so she might have went there. But still, it's still a crazy scenario where you're sitting at home, you're doing nothing, going about your day. All of a sudden, you just knock on the door. Oh, yeah, you're under arrest. AI says you're a fucking criminal. What? I don't know, man. This world is getting crazy. Again,
Yeah.
you know, I, I mean, I feel like the world at large, like you should be able to recognize this stuff is not where it needs to be. I mean, you might have the tools started or whatever, but it's not where it needs to be. So why? How could you even think about implementing it to charge somebody based on AI
Right.
thing? You know, like it's just crazy to me. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, AI says it is. Okay, it is. Hey,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Well, and there's legislation to not, or I guess to deregulate or not put rules around it and just allow it to happen. So that way we're the first ones to get to the finish line. But what is the finish line, and
Right. Well, Bernie
what is that
Sanders
cost?
is is very much against it and those sort of regulations and stuff, and a lot of people are. But as far as like, yeah, the big wigs are like, we've got to do it before China does. Got to do it before China does, because China doesn't care. You know? So it is sort of a rat race kind of situation,
Yeah.
and which is going to lead to scary consequences like this one. You know.
Yeah. It's definitely a. I'm like I said, glad she was able to beat that rap. I hope the next person is, and I hope from this time forward the people are. But as we all know, before too long, it'll just be able to fabricate videos of the person actually doing it.
Mhm.
You know, so
So I think the police came and got Braden because of the AI situation. So he's gone, probably to the gutters. That's okay. We'll continue
yeah, I get
forward with the
I
rest.
get I get a wider
Um,
frame now. So I mean,
here we go. So there's been all this stuff, Matt, with like Meta and YouTube and just like basically social media in general and stuff like where they're kind of losing some battles now. For the longest time, they didn't lose any battles ever, and now, so there's been a couple. I think one was in where was that? One in New Mexico, maybe somewhere like that. And then, but there's a California woman who said she was addicted and she spent 16 hours a day online, and she won a case against Meta and YouTube, basically saying how they are literally programming shit to be addictive, and that
mhm.
she got addicted to it, and she is suing and won.
Yeah. Even the construction folks that were here today, that was another topic that we talked about was,
Yeah,
the fact that they're talking about how it's rewiring our brains.
sure,
Um,
sure.
and I'd already heard, there's studies that have linked to social media and the short videos and the quick changes in content to
Mhm.
even stronger or worse versions of ADHD, and things of that
Yeah.
nature too. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, in the last 10, 20 years, we've really made a lot of changes that could be huge to the future because people don't think the same ways. We don't interact the same ways. Hell, most of the time they're not even looking where you're going when you're driving because, oh man, my phone pinged. It's scary to think about. I know. I think I talked about this before. Like I had my uncle saved a lot of the Mad books that he had when he was young. Because sometimes they had editions that would be like 100-page paperback style book. And I remember in one of them, it had a story that kind of reminds you of Wally, where everyone was on a scooter and nobody was paying any attention to anything else because they were um, entwined in whatever was over their face. Uh, and I really feel like that's kind of where we're at this point in time. What we have I guess what I thought was reality at a younger age seems to really just kind of be disappearing at this point in time. If you could imagine us when we were in our teens walking around for 4 to 5 hours in the evening talking, if we had had phones at that point in time or the internet, we probably wouldn't have ever really became the type of friends that we did, hanging out all the time, going out and moving around.
But no, it's true though, right? I mean, they are addictive. Now you're on Facebook, and I know Braden isn't on Facebook, but and Messenger and stuff like that. But have you noticed this? Have you noticed like nowadays that you'll get a notification and it won't be anything important?
Yeah.
Like, and that wasn't the case. And also like a Messenger, it'll say you have a message, but you don't have one. It's just to get you to fucking engage, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's not even earnest anymore at all. It's just like, oh, come back to this slide, and it's like, it says 1, 2 notification. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Well, and what I liked about Facebook when I first got on it was the fact that there was no extra, well, ads and stuff like that when I first started Facebook. And I know the ads started kicking in, but I stuck with it because it seemed like at that point in time, everybody had been moving away from MySpace, which had.
Okay, that's our next topic. That's our next
Oh,
topic.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So I did send a video about MySpace and the video, what it said is basically like, yeah, Tom owned MySpace, but really it was a business partner with eUniverse, and the goal
Yeah.
was always to have ads. It just wasn't. It was designed. The design was to get you hooked and get you addicted to it, and then implement the ads. Kind of the same way that Facebook did, and that's exactly what Facebook did. At
Yeah.
first, Facebook wasn't ads, and now, like you said, half the shit you're going to see is ads. So,
Yeah, and now you've got your ads, and then you've got your paid posts, and now 80% of my page is things that has nothing to do with the friends that I have on Facebook.
yeah,
It's just a whole bunch of. It feels like rhetoric anymore, and I don't know what to actually believe when I'm reading it. It's
what and not only that though too is like the algorithm or whatever. It's like if you have friends on Facebook, but you don't really like. Let's say you go a month or two and you don't like something they post, or they don't post anything or whatever, that gets lost in the shuffle, and then the things that you engage with, that's the things that you see boom, 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 mixed with the ads and the promotions and stuff. So you could have a friend that you will never see a post that they posted at all.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So uh, yeah, definitely not where we was in 2006, 2007, right?
Yeah. Yep. Me and my top eight.
The old top 8 on
Yeah.
MySpace, isn't it? Yeah,
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 I
that's
know.
good.
I know. I had someone tell me that you could go back to MySpace and get your information for so long, but it's gone now. I wish I had went back and grabbed all the stuff that I had put on MySpace because at one point in
Well,
time I had posted things that I would love to
well,
have
if
back.
you so they did have the option, I think, to get like your blog posts and stuff.
Yep.
But
Yep.
as far as like the stuff like the messages and stuff, all that, I don't think that was ever an option. I think that
It,
was
it
always gone.
and it was the blog post that I would wanted to get back.
Yeah,
I I had some manic poetry out there that I'd love to be able to read back over. It's
yeah, right. Yeah. All right. UN calls for reparations. Says enslavement is the gravest crime against humanity.
yeah.
The old
Uh,
UN did this. Did sort of it was told to everybody there, and I guess it was put out for people to vote on, and 3 countries did not vote on it. And one of I don't remember the one, but one of them was Israel, and the other one was the good old U.S. of A.
mhm.
Thoughts on this? Anything you got?
You know, I think it would be hard to put that money out there, to give the money back, would it be the right thing to do? Yeah, if we could do it correctly, but we're talking about, I guess they'd have to put a cap. How many hundreds of years back do they want to go for where the money's going to go? Because slavery's happened our entire existence. It's going on now. They just don't talk about it because, and then in some forms and fashions, you might say that it's happening all over the place. It just depends on how they're selling it, But I mean, there's still slavery going on now. I mean, I hope that they find some way to do good with the money if they get the proper vote for this thing. But I think it would be something to where they should focus a good portion on making sure slavery doesn't happen again. How do we?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the
Educate, make
same
sure we
boat.
don't forget, make monuments that are made in stone, that are
Mhm.
not going to go away anytime soon, to remind us of why we don't have slavery in society anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm on the same page with you for the most part. I mean, well, like me and Cliff talked about in the last podcast, I mean, slavery does it. It still exists. It's just a different form, kind of a deal. I mean, the way I see it is it's complicated. It's a very complicated situation. Obviously, it was very tragic what had happened, especially throughout the years. Now, and I try to put myself in the place of like the Civil War and like the aftermath of it. I know things were very touchy. They didn't want to make a lot of big fuss. I think once it was over, kind of deal like we won, but blah blah blah. But I feel like that was the time. That was the time. I feel like that was the time to say, hey, let's give these people back their positions. Let's give them a foothold uh, uh, to get what they need to be, kind of deal. But after years and years and years pass, I mean, it is hard to do that because, like you said, it's very hard to sort of figure that all up in it as a detail. You can't just say, "Oh, if you're black, you're gonna get money." You know what I mean? Kind of deal.
Yeah.
But also like the thing is like it wasn't just the slaves that have sort of broken their. It's also the poor people as well. They've broken their backs to make the people rich to make this country prosper. So
Yeah.
we have such an indifference of wealth distributed anyway that I feel like poor people, you say poor white people or whatever, but they're going to say, "Hey, look, where's my cut?" Because
Yeah.
I've been here, I've been doing all this. So it's a complicated situation. I don't have the answer
Yeah.
exactly, but
And if I understood correctly, like there were Irish and Scottish slaves, there were Chinese, there
well,
were slaves from all over,
there's been slaves
and
forever. Yeah,
yeah, and then um, is it Great Britain, England, maybe, when their empire was sprawling, and then even until recently, some of the like African countries who now are have excommunicated their overseer, I guess you would say. All of those areas also would still and that and that cuts into India. That cuts into a lot of different areas where
yeah,
slavery was there and that kind of foothold. Um, I think, well, I'll say it. Um, I believe there was something of the same nature from China, um, where one of the smaller countries around them, uh, slavery happens there too. And I've heard tell, or shall I say allegedly, um, there are Islamic people now who are slave labor in China for certain things too. And where did that come from? How did that come into play?
yeah. I mean, let's face it. I mean, there's been slaves pretty much probably since the dawn of time with mankind. But no, I mean, I mean, as far as America goes, you look at we. not we, but there are people in America who have a problem with DEI, right? So
Yeah.
if if you can see that as a problem and people railing against that, imagine what reparations would do as a whole, kind of a deal. And some of those aren't warranted, but I'm just saying like I mean there are ways to try to help people along and give people, but I feel like it should be more of a blanket statement and not just so specific. But again, I think that really the timing should have been after everything was said and done in Civil War. You know, and I say this about the rebel flag too. I'm sorry, you know, it's like I get it. You know, it's like I know tensions were touchy and shit, but if they'd taken that shit away right after the war, we wouldn't have to worry about it, right? But now we've had 200 years of people being like, the South, flag, flag. That it does sort of take on a different meaning to a degree. Not to me personally, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I think it's tacky, but you know, but to certain people, it's not really that sort of battle cry. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like at the end of the Civil War, if they'd done more at that point to say this is how we're buttoning up everything, you know, you guys lost. Here we are. This is what's happening. Then we would probably be in a better shape than we are now.
Yeah. Or maybe you just unlocked something in my mind, and the Civil War set the precedent, or the precedents of how America would do war or finish wars from this point in time. Once it ended, we just kind of back away and pretend like it wasn't our problem anymore.
I think
Sorry.
we're kind of notorious for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
We're
think
kind
I
of
think it just had a light bulb
notorious.
go off in my head, yeah, in that like,
Yeah.
oh wait a minute, yeah, we did kind of do that here too, didn't we? Not just everywhere else that we've been in.
We did.
Yeah,
We said, yeah, fuck it. We're done.
yeah, yeah. Let's just let this. We did our part. We'll, we'll let it all work itself out. Uh,
Right.
Sorry,
Exactly.
that was probably a
Exactly.
really
No,
horrible joke.
no, that's really no kind of true. That's kind of true.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Up next, BlackRock. BlackRock is one of the largest asset managers. They buy homes and land from a lot of people, and then they up the prices and stuff. This is one of those places that go in and will buy your home. You see those things, buy your home for cash, blah blah blah. Apparently, they're
Yeah, we
using.
go ahead.
I was going to say, somehow they're using your 401k to do it. I don't know how that
Oh,
works
I'm sure.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure our money is tied into some kind of investment portfolio,
Yeah.
and part of that investment portfolio is tied up into these residential buy-ups. I know, yeah, when we had the McMansion in Tennessee, as I like to refer to it, um,
Nice.
just a modest 3,000 square foot house. Uh, when we were getting ready to sell that place, we actually had one of the companies that buys your home, and then you can just move out. You know, they'll buy it, you get like 30 days and move all your stuff out, and then they'll come in, fix things up, and go from there. We ended up not
Mhm.
going that route. I kind of wish we had, but yeah, I mean, and what I had understood is they had been buying houses out in that neighborhood for quite some time, and I didn't realize that, which was completely against the HOA, so that made no sense either, because they are fixing off and renting them. I don't know if it was the same
Yeah,
company or not, but
probably
yeah, you weren't
was.
supposed to have any rental properties in that neighborhood, so it was
Really?
wild. Yeah, wild. Thinking about once someone was talking to me about like, oh, why don't you just rent your house out for the next umpteenth years? I'm like, oh, that
Mhm.
sounds great, but I don't want to drive hours to check on this place every night. I'm like, oh no, you can hire a rental company to do this for
Let's
you.
see.
And I'm like,
Okay.
okay. It's like I still don't feel like I'd make any money, but apparently, my house
I feel
payment
it, yeah.
was about 1,200 less than some people were paying to rent homes in that area. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently, like, this BlackRock Corporation, probably some others like it, is probably some of the reasons the prices keep driving up
oh yeah,
all the time. And
yeah,
which is why you have places, I mean, even places that don't warrant it, A big city where there's like opportunity and stuff, I mean, maybe you can see it a little bit, right? But these smaller places where there's like little to no opportunity, and you're having to pay so much money to rent or own. It's just kind of crazy, and to wonder why. It seems like this might be a part of it.
yeah, yeah. It definitely has a lot to do with it. Anytime you commercialize something like that, you're looking to raise your profits, and
Yeah,
you know,
keep going up. You got to keep going up
yeah,
every year. All right, up next, Walmart digital price labels are coming everywhere by the end of this year. And we
yeah.
talked
I
about this
saw that.
before.
Yeah,
You sent that. Remember that thing
yeah,
you sent a while back about all this thing about people or these companies which basically could like individualize prices. Remember that?
yes, yes. Um, I won't say what store, but I had priced some things as a guest online. A fairly large purchase. I want to say it was somewhere around $3,800 when I first had looked everything, put it together, and within about 45 minutes, I realized, oh, I haven't actually logged into my uh, loyalty
Okay.
program for this, and
Uh-huh.
then I logged
Yeah.
it, and I logged into it, and all of a sudden, my price was $600 more.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute.
Ooh.
And I
I
went
gotta.
back and I checked. I was like, I didn't add anything to this. But yeah, once I
Oh.
logged in as myself, my price
Oh.
rose.
Oh
You
shit.
know? Yeah, I was like, and I can't think of a single reason why, because I had chosen the same store to pick things up that I wanted to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't change anything. I just logged into the account that's my loyalty account in that um, on that website, and it was like, okay. Like instead of paying 3,800, now I'm paying 4,400 because I am
What the?
who I am.
Ah, that's not cool, man. That's
Yeah,
not cool. I don't like it.
yeah.
I don't like it. And
And
this.
I didn't buy it, just so you know, because I was a little irritated at the fact that
Well, I don't blame you. Well, I mean, this could be something like that, nefariously, like changing the tag when you walk by. I don't know if it's going to be like that. I mean, at the very least, what it's going to do is eliminate pretty much department managers because, I mean, one of the big things about department managers is changing labels and prices on goods.
oh
So, if this is a thing that can happen just like that, with visual a
yeah,
moniker, then you don't really need those department managers that much anymore, other than resetting modules. But honestly, I think that the way the format is now, I don't think a lot of these stores are wanting to reset anything because they're built on systems that are designed especially for like people to get things the way they are. Back in the day, back in the like early 2000s, like these stores would switch things up a lot. You change things shit a lot. Like, oh, I thought he was over here, and it's over here. They don't really do that much anymore because it's more designed about to get to where what you want when you want it, where it is, and stuff. And their apps and stuff are all designed to be like tell you where it is. So if they're changing that stuff all the
yeah,
time, it's going to be a headache. So really, seems like this is a big elimination of department managers altogether.
yeah. And I could see it being much like. Do you remember? Uh, Probably late '90s or mid '90s, maybe early 2000s. Um, you would go to a gas station and they didn't have the digital readers on most gas stations back then, or at least not in our area. They were the old ones where they had to go out there and flip the numbers. So if you got there early enough in the morning, you could potentially get your gas 10 cents cheaper because they hadn't actually updated the sign or the pump yet.
Yeah.
So I could imagine this being much like that every time we go into a store, things could be a few cents higher or lower just because of the market share or, any given point, so even if it's not checking it just because I am who I am, the fact that
right. You could walk by a candy bar and then go get something else. And by the time you go back to the candy bar, it could be up 10 cents because of whatever reason, right?
Yeah, their stock just rose 50 points.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all of a sudden,
Something
this candy
happened.
bar is worth more money than it was
Yeah,
10 minutes ago.
yeah. And it's so easy to do. So,
Yeah.
um, kind of wild. Um, all right. Congressman Tim Burchett says if America saw alien reports, they would come unglued.
Yeah, I mean, are we not already? uh,
Right.
this might be the perfect time to tell us about the alien files. I mean, we already kind of learned about so many things in the last couple of years that we probably would have never actually expected,
Yeah.
there's aliens out there. I would have believed there was aliens out there before I believed there were actually people going to eat human flesh in ritualistic manners still,
Yeah.
I thought that was so 1800s.
That's so Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
but Jeffrey
well,
Dahmer was doing it by himself, though. I know that kind of shit still
yeah.
happens, but
Right.
these are people going
Yeah.
to parties, So I mean, I would
Right.
believe, I would believe in aliens before, that. It's
Well,
just me talking though.
I will say that I don't think that we can even grasp what rich people get up to because they have no concept of anything, but
Yeah,
the massive amount of free time they have. But and me and Cliff touched on this a little bit last time. Well, I mean, do we think that there's a possibility that a lot of the stuff that we have now is sort of engineered by alien craft that we have, like the AI and the internet and all this stuff that we have? And you kind of alluded to this a little bit, I
Oh
think,
yeah. Yep.
where
I'm not saying it's
we like.
aliens, but it's aliens.
Where it's like it just seems kind of odd that we sort of advance so rapidly with all this stuff. And maybe it wasn't even that rapidly, maybe it was just released rapidly, but
Yeah.
or like what I mean, in the steps that they decided to release it, could have.
Well,
I don't know.
and the stories that I'd heard about that, so allegedly, Roswell, that one, all of the things they took from that alleged crash, they split it between like 8 different companies. So they all got different things to focus on. And then that's sometime around the time all the techie stuff started swirling up. So yeah, I mean, it's very possible that is it.
I mean, it just seems kind of wild that we have. I mean, 100 years ago to now it's kind of a wild contrast,
Yeah, even the Industrial Revolution before the tech stuff started coming into play was a huge jump.
hmm
And we know, like we've talked about Nikola Tesla before, he was a big part in that. If it wasn't for his work with the electricity grids, we wouldn't have the power to do what we're doing now.
Right.
And his vision, and he thought he had done it, was that everyone would have power. They could utilize electricity. It's not going to cost you anything because it's made by the earth to begin with. and that's when he got shut down.
Well, yeah, you
And
always
from
find a
what
way
I
to.
understand, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's got to find a way to put a meter on it, you know.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, how we're going to charge people for it. Like his whole thing was he wanted to, my understanding is he wanted to usher in a whole different time frame of mankind where we're
Right.
actually doing the things that would bring us all prosperity, health, and wisdom.
And which was a novel idea and probably something that might have been implemented to a degree at the beginning. But just like the internet, just like the internet was free and ad free for so many years or for so long there, it was just to get you hooked on it, and then it gets bombarded with the shit. So they're going to find a way to make their money off of you somehow, some way. And yeah, saying somebody's going to get something for free, that's just not going to happen. It's never what the powers that be think is appropriate. JD Vance says that UFOs could be demons flying around the earth.
Yeah, I mean, what else could they be? It's
The old demons, they're just
yeah.
flying around, huh?
Well, you could take that in a couple of different ways. I didn't look into what he actually said or what other statements may have been made around that. I just found that one to be a fairly ridiculous statement. Um, but what if the reason demons are in our lore is because of aliens coming from outer space and freaking people out because they could do these things, or they were extra strong, or they breathed fire, or smelled like cow shit. Whatever the thing was that made them think they
So
were
I think what you're
demons.
saying is, we made the bombs. The bombs made the aliens come, and then the aliens made the demons come,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the demons will make the angels come eventually. So
Just a
it's going to
circle
be a
jerk.
big.
That's all it is.
It's it's cyclical.
We just keep
It's
making
cyclical,
everybody
Matt.
come. Wait, hold on. That's not what we're
Oh,
talking about, was it?
wait a minute. Uh, uh, in 1971, the gold standard, gold was kind of losing the old fire. Um,
Okay.
Basically, we transferred it into paper, which is basically worth paper. Um, but basically, what they're saying is Henry Kissinger went to Saudi Arabia and basically made that trade where the paper represented oil.
Yeah, I've read some about that too.
So the oil was really the standard so gold really isn't so much what we considered anymore. Because I mean, who really has gold? I mean, you might have a gold earring or necklace or something. You don't really have a fucking stacks of gold, right? Unless you're Fort Knox, right? So,
Even if Fort Knox does,
we
from
don't know.
some statements that
Don't
have
know.
been said, so
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Uh, but so that's interesting. That's an interesting concept of saying that, yeah, that basically became oil, and that would make sense because let's face it, a lot of these wars that we get involved in are because of what survey says.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump said something about Venezuela. We went there for the oil. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, almost verbatim. Um, but it going back, and even what we're doing right now in Iran, um, there's implications that it's about oil. In the past, there's been implications that the wars were about oil, and
Oh, shit.
from a lot of the
Weapons of
stuff.
mass oil.
Yeah, yeah, and for the things that I've read, it seems to be when there's a push to potentially sell oil and other things and something other than the dollar is kind of when the
Yeah.
war goes around.
Yeah. And we don't like
it is
that.
it is kind of that power play to where oil has historically been traded in the dollar. It's going to continue to be traded in the dollar. So,
Right.
and I could be interpreting that completely wrong, but those are the
I don't
types
think
of
so.
things that
I don't
I'm
think so.
getting my brain
I
wrapped
think
around. So,
I think you're on point with that one. I think you're on point with that one because and we talked about it before, but it's like, these countries say, "Oh, these guys are bad people." I think they are, but I mean, we have North Korea over there who working on some nuclear weapons themselves, right? And we don't care because they don't have oil.
yeah,
So
oh yeah,
there are reasons.
yeah. It's the Daily Show was talking about that over this past weekend. I really liked the way that they had stated it. I wish I'd actually written it down. Um, but no, I'm. It's crazy to think, we're trying to stomp out nuclear power, and we kind of had this conversation at one point in time too. Like if we're
Mhm.
trying to keep everyone else from having it, shouldn't we also be disbanding ours? And,
Right, but we
you
can't.
know,
We
it's
actually up in it because China has more, or no, Russia has more, and
yeah,
China's up there too, though. So yeah, I mean, I get to the point that we can't till they do or whatever they want. So there is that, but yeah, it's sort of a Mexican standoff, I think, with that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Up next, Tyler Robinson, innocent? Question mark. The bullet doesn't match the rifle. The court filings claim. Now, Snopes says
Oh,
that they can't actually verify this, but I did see it floating around saying
yeah.
that the bullet didn't match the rifle. Um, wouldn't surprise me. Would you?
I don't know. I mean, magic bullets have seem to have been around for a long time. Um, I am curious of why they state they can't um, verify that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it on anything on that, but I would like to know that logic, considering a lot of people are uh, put in jail for ballistics from verifying bullets or from specific guns.
Well, have you noticed that? Like, you don't hear anything about this guy anymore. Like, it's like, okay, done and
Oh yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
It's kind of wild, don't you think? It's kind
Well,
of like, okay,
20 or 30 years from now, we'll get some documentaries
sure, absolutely.
and give us information that we're supposed to know about this one.
hmm I mean, probably. Trump. Let's move on to Trump. Trump signs executive order limiting mail-in voting, which is stupid because he did it himself. He also addressed the nation. Did you watch any of that stuff? Again, I did not.
No,
It's like, yeah, I did. So we'll move on from that. Trump to add signature to all U.S. dollar bills. That's fun.
well, I mean, he's put his name on everything else. Might as well
I
let
mean,
him
you
put
gotta have it.
his.
You gotta have it for the strippers, don't you? I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah,
the strippers have to put it on the. That's just gonna
I've got
be the
I've
whole thing.
I've got an even better idea. Why don't they make ink out of gold, and that way he can have the gold Trump on every dollar,
Ooh, and they were all having goals. There
and
you
then we'll
go.
all be back to the gold standard or the Trump standard. If there's if there's enough gold on my dollar to make it worth a dollar again, I'll let him call
Right.
I'll let him call it the Trump standard. Um,
There you go. There you go. Give us
uh,
give us your gold. Give us
yeah,
your gold.
yeah. Um,
All right. So the Save Act got shot down. You But then the Supreme Court saw the thing about the citizenship birthright. Did you see that?
I knew there was something going on, but I never actually followed up to see what the actual vote
Now,
was. Or
I wish Braden was here because I think he would give us more insight. But do you think that they didn't like that either? Because I think that he was there pushing for it, but I think he went away saying that they were incompetent or some shit. What a bunch of losers. I don't know if they said
Okay,
that.
is that the one where I saw some kind of statement or meme or something about him saying, someone saying that sitting in the courtroom with his arms crossed, pouty and a pouty face didn't
Yes,
work for him.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah, that's
yes.
what that one
I
was
think I
about.
think that was it. I think that was it. And I mean, again, I mean, it's total weird, like total stupid shit. Really. If you're
Yeah,
born, if you're born in America, shouldn't you be American? What does it take to be American, really? Then
yeah. I mean, I
I mean,
thought
I
for a
mean,
long time that was
100 years from now, there's no Americans because,
nobody's born here, or
well, I mean, you're born into the count, so
yeah,
yeah, makes no sense, right?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Uh,
I think, and this could be wrong. I may be like thinking of Starship Troopers or something. But I think in some
meow, meow.
countries, yeah,
Tell me meow.
yeah, in some country, not Super Troopers, but still, yeah. But meow, you have
Oh, you're talking
to
about Star.
Starship Troopers, yeah. But I want to
Totally different.
say that there are some countries where you have to do so many years in their military to become a citizen. So up until the time you're a certain age, you're, I guess, okay to be there because you were
You're in the
born there and
military.
lived there as a child. But once you hit a
Okay.
certain age, you've got to hit the military. And in order to actually become a citizen and have the ability to do those things as a citizen that a citizen has, an adult citizen has, you have to spend so many years in. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I may
And
be
that
mistaking that
and
with a
that's a
movie.
movie. And that's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hope that we don't become a movie.
I'm hoping it's
Uh,
a movie. Yeah.
Jesse the Body Ventura. What do you say about Trump? What's he got? What's he got? What you got?
Oh, I don't know what he said. I think, but he was, oh Lord, I know I had it somewhere. But he was basically criticizing him.
Mm,
If I had a brain, I could remember what he said, and then the fact that I thought it was funny because a few days before that, I'd saw the thing where Trump was at Graceland, and they were talking about how
mhm.
Elvis holds like, was it I think four different martial arts black belts. Like he was
Oh,
actually a very skilled martial artist, and Trump looks at the camera and goes, "You think I could have taken him?" Or you think I could take him is how he worded it.
wow.
And I was thinking, and I
I
thought to
think
myself, because
I think you can take him now,
I think you can take him now. It's
but
like,
only now.
yeah, you can take him more if you want to at this point in time. Probably in a small bag, uh,
Uh,
but it made me think about, if Jesse the Body Ventura is talking against Trump, I'm sure Trump's like, I want to kick his ass. And then all of a sudden, in my mind, I just think of Jesse the Body Ventura and Donald Trump in the ring. And next thing you know, the lights go
Water.
out and the heavy rhythmic music comes in. And all of a sudden, it's the four horsemen of the apocalypse walking down the aisle. And you're wondering which side they're on. Are they with Jesse? Are they with Trump? What's going to happen? Are the powers going to collide? you know.
Well, Jesse was he was the governor of Minnesota, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yep, he was the governor. If I'm not mistaken, he was someone who did a pretty decent job while he was in there, if I remember correctly. But I've learned recently that there's several professional wrestlers who have held offices. I think Kane is actually a mayor, if I'm not mistaken, and things like that. So that's awesome though, because a lot of those guys, even though they play the heel and things of that nature, they're really
Yeah,
smart and good people.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. I mean that's cool.
my whole spinoff on the whole um, Rumble with it was because I think the whole thing also played out because there was alleged statements that they were saying they're going to usher in the apocalypse. That was their goal with this war.
Yeah.
Which neither here nor there, but it was a great fever dream for me. I like to play out weird scenarios in my head for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Scientists warn that the Gulf Stream is shifting north, and an ocean current collapse is imminent.
Okay. It, 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 it probably flowed south before because it was the Gulf of Mexico, and now it's flowing north because it's the Gulf of America, right? So
Yeah, that's it. That's what's
it's got to
happening.
flow
It's
in the
like, oh, I
direction.
can't go that way anymore. I gotta go this way.
Yeah, I gotta go this way. No, I'm sorry, that was belligerent. Yes, but no, I did read about that one with the different climate changes and the changes in water temperature. It kind of makes you wonder if this isn't something that's been building up for a while now.
Mhm.
So it's scary because fish, sea life. That's what's kept society alive for a very long time.
Right.
You know.
Right. So, not good. Not a good statement. Again, if it's imminent, I mean that doesn't sound good. I don't like the word imminent. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean, imminent is definitely bad, and then there's always the fact that if that changes the climate even more in the oceans, and we continue to get higher sea levels, and we know most of the earth that we see today, even some of the mountains, they find fossils from ocean life. So obviously there's enough water on the planet to cover all of
Yeah.
the land.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting situation. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. That's scary. That's scary. All right. Moving on. Boom, 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 boom. Do you know what? You know what I'm gonna say about this one?
No, no, I love the song. I don't know exactly what you're talking about
Another one bites the dust. Pam Bondi fired.
though. Oh yeah, uh, yeah. You would think a little Miss Deflects It All wouldn't wouldn't have been gone. That was surprising to me. I really didn't expect that. But who's to know? She may have another role to play in this
Well,
chess
I'm sure she'll
game.
be
So I
doing
mean,
some silly
yeah,
job, but the fact is she's not going to face it anymore. I mean, these people have. I mean, here's the thing. It's like these people have pretty much done his bidding. They've kissed his butt. The brown nose is caked on, and once it doesn't go, once the light gets shown, they're seen in a very poor favor. He will drop you like a hotcake. Like he has no loyalty to you, only to himself. So you can call him the greatest president ever. He's the greatest president, and he doesn't care. He will. I mean, he likes flattery, but at the same time, he will not lose his base for you. You will literally get dumped. So we, you know, we lost. No, we lost this one. He's already talking about dumping uh, Levitt, the speaker.
gotcha.
So that could be a thing too. I think bring them on, dump them all, fire yourself, blah blah blah. But I don't I don't know how surprised I was because I mean, if you watch some of those tapes of the way she handled stuff, it's pretty bad. That really leaves a bad taste in the mouth of the public. And he's
Okay.
worried about the midterms. So he's going to do everything to make sure that he has a shiny new face for the midterms. So with all these people lurking about that handle things so poorly, he's going to dump them like hotcakes.
I mean,
Um,
he should be able to stop at least 2 wars before the midterms. I mean, that should be
But the ones he created, yeah, maybe.
negotiate us out of those.
Stop so many wars. Stop so many wars. Um, Give me another peace prize, why don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like she did do a terrible job. She was kind of a terrible person in the limelight. I know she was just doing his bidding, but at the same time, yeah, glad to see she was gone. Ready for the
Yeah,
next
me
one.
too. Yeah,
Ready for the next one to be gone.
I hope they have the ability to actually tell the truth the next one, but I'm sure it'll just be someone else who's going to spit
Well,
rhetoric and miscommunication and
but that's
talk,
it. That's the thing.
talk
It's
about
like
the Dow. It's all about the
right.
Dow.
If you go so far, like I feel like I'm not saying any like of the past ones have ever been completely honest or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But when you go to a certain degree, you set yourself up to kind of be scrutinized. So, speaking of people who got fired, let's go back to Christy Nome. Christy Nome's husband,
Oh yeah.
doing some undercover nipplage
His
things.
his nipples are as hard to navigate as my eyeballs. Um,
They're woo.
sorry, that's
Um,
a little dig at myself there, but yeah, I mean, we could see eye to eye or nipple to eye, however you.
Nipple to eye. Yes, that's a good.
Um,
That's a good. Um,
yeah,
well, I mean, whatever, teach their own, I guess. But it is kind of interesting, obviously, that it gets
they'll
brought
probably
up to
take his
light.
they'll probably take his books out of the children's section.
They might do that. Yeah, if he has one. Um, I think that. I mean, what else are you gonna do with your life? You got your husband, or I'm sorry, you got your wife fucking some dude on the plane. You know, you got a lot of free time, so might as well just go crazy there. Um, Up next, government social media surveillance has hit a 770% growth in the past decade. Just something to keep in mind that your shit is being monitored. And there was another thing I didn't send it in the chat, but about VPNs. About VPNs,
Oh,
it was saying how if you put your VPN and set it to a different country, that the government will monitor you.
hmm.
But I'm under the impression that VPNs, take it with a grain of salt. You think you're not being monitored? Eh,
It's probably a lot like that private option on your browser.
well, that has absolutely been shown to have been completely
Yeah,
nothing.
total.
It
Yeah,
was nothing. Yeah. But the VPN, I mean, let's face it, it wouldn't be sold if it was. You know what I mean? If they can't control you, they're not gonna let you buy it. All right.
oh, oh yeah.
So you can do what you want with it, but at the same time, you need to understand that you're probably being watched still. So yeah. Um. So there's some other things. Trump administration orders dismantling of the U.S. Forest Service, inflation. Braden has some topics on that one. Um, and Tiger Woods with a DUI thing with a wreck. That's fun stuff.
Uh,
And
I did see a funny meme. I hope it's true, but I guess 50 Cent said something about how did he say it? Was it a lion wouldn't be caught in that situation, but a tiger would? But
yeah, well, he's had
yeah.
but he's had some problems. So, and the other thing was the Artemis 2, the space shuttle to the well, it's not really to the moon though. It's not to the moon because they're going around the moon. What's the deal with that?
I don't know all the details. The only thing I heard about it was they interviewed some like teenage kid, and I guess he said, "We're going to the fucking moon," and on live television, and they got that.
Well, I could be wrong. Maybe they're stopping on the moon, but the way I saw it was like they're going to slingshot around the moon and like kind of come back. I don't know. Maybe they will stop. I don't know. But the first time in since the early '70s. So
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. I
there we
mean,
go.
let's see what's up there. Maybe there's if they're going to see the dark side of the moon again. They better listen to some Pink Floyd. Yes, because if you're going to slingshot around it, you're going to see the dark side.
Right.
You know, some people have said like there's lights over there. It looks like there's mining operations. I'm not sure how they know about it, but that's some of the stuff that you read.
Yeah.
If your algorithm's right, anyway.
There's could be some leprechauns over there. Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got, man. You got anything else?
Oh man, I've tried not to get into it lately. I just needed to step back, focus on my own life for a little bit, and not
Sure.
dig too deep into anything. I have been trying to at least listen, make sure we're not in any more wars. At least to this point we're not, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've cut a few reels. I think I've shown you some of the folks that I've been listening to, just because I get a kick out of how they present them, and they're in different countries, so they say things about the United States that people in the United States won't say about it. So I try to keep up with it. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I watched recently. I watched the first episode of Saturday Night Live UK.
Ooh, I didn't even realize that was a thing. I'll have to go check that out
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So they just launched it recently, or not, maybe a couple weeks ago. And Tina Fey was the first one that opened up as the guest. But what I was surprised about, we talk about freedoms or freedom, America,
Yeah.
freedom, Maryland, free. They're able to actually curse on that show,
hmm Yeah.
and I'm like, oh wow. So Britain, you can actually
Yeah.
say fuck and all that shit on the show. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
If I'm not mistaken, now not saying it will be for this one, but if I'm not mistaken, they can have nudity also, like certain nudity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it's much different in how those things come
Yeah.
about. But
Yeah.
that's um, interesting. I will definitely have to go check that one out.
Yeah. Yeah. Check
What
it out.
I think I've talked to you about it before. I'm not sure I've said it here, but one of my favorite newer shows is Ghosts. It's a comedy, but it started out in the UK also. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've watched most of the first season of the UK version and really enjoy it also. So I mean, it's always neat to see the differences in how those interpretations
Right.
come about also, because of
Sure.
course the American version doesn't have some of the same characters and things of that nature, but um, very neat situation. I did think of something. Were you ever a Scrubs fan?
Yeah. I watched some of that. I've actually watched most of that revival. Yeah.
Okay,
On
okay,
Hulu.
good,
Yeah.
good. I was going to suggest that if you were a Scrubs fan, to jump out there and check out the
Yeah.
new stuff. To me, it feels like what Scrubs felt like. You still got the inner
Sure.
monologue. They're still
Yeah.
12-year-olds in adult bodies. It's
Yeah. Yeah. No. It still works. I still like it. I like the characters and
yeah.
stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah, and,
cool.
and I like the way they've woven in humor and
Hmm.
understanding of the newer generations also. So it's to me it's been really fun to watch. Um, but yeah, that's really all I've got,
Yeah.
man.
All right, man. All right. Well, this has been a show. We will
Yeah,
be back in a couple weeks, hopefully. So until then, peace.
later.